Good morning, good afternoon. Gonna give it a few minutes. Hello, Rosalind. Happy Sunday. Good afternoon. I am happy to have you here. Thank you. Good afternoon from Florida. Hey, Key. Good afternoon. All right, I will get started. I'll do my intro and then we'll get started. All right, that's not the right one. There we go. All right, let me fix this. I'm doing this right today. All right, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Jewel Pearson. This is Miss Bohemian Soul TV. This is Creating Home, a tiny house series, and this segment that we are about to kick off is the What's Your Question segment, where I am in conversation answering frequently asked tiny house questions and just spending time in community is what this has turned into, and I'm pleased about that. I alternate between this segment and the conversations on intimate spaces where we are speaking to guests in and around the tiny house movement. And so we'll be doing some of that very soon. As I introduce myself, like to say that I built a kind of fancy tiny house in 2015. And since that time, I have shared my journey, hopefully to inspire others who are interested in the movement. I do offer coaching and consultations to help others in their tiny house journey. And you will be able to find those links to schedule with me in the video description once this goes live and I update it. And as I'm doing all of that, I like to serve up a lot of representation in the movement along the way. I want us to be able to see ourselves and be able to talk about our challenges and our successes in this movement. It is my intent to build figurative and literal community that is inclusive and accessible. And if you find this information and the video helpful, I hope you will like it, you'll share it, you'll subscribe to the channel, and then turn on the notifications so that you'll know when content is available. All right, let me get back to my screen. There we go. All right, let's see. Lay, good day. I am well. How are you? Thank you for joining. Hi, Kitty. Happy Sunday. Happy first Sunday to you as well. Good afternoon, Cynthia. Good morning, Judith. Thank you for being here. T. Tennille, welcome. T. Tennille says this is her first time catching the live, so welcome. I'm happy you're here. Hi, Kitty. Grateful to see you, or to be seen, I guess I should say. Hi, Latasha. Hey, Robert. Robert says he's going to behave today. We'll see. I appreciate you making me laugh. So, Robert, you're fine. I don't really have a subject for today. And so we'll do what we usually do in Kitty is from LA. We'll do all the things that we usually do and just engage in some conversation. Hello, 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 Wayne. I really have not been very productive this week, and I am giving myself some grace around that, because I also recognize that I need to work on hello work on changing my mindset from feeling like I have to be productive every single day, or if I'm not accomplishing things on the to-do list, chiding myself about it, um, giving myself grace because I did just, oh, thank you, that's right, because I am technically in recovery, so I am working on actually, a mindset shift. And when you have worked in corporate America and subscribed to all of the things of what that entails, oftentimes your mental focus is on always doing and doing and accomplishing. And I can honestly say that is who I am and who I've been. My mind operates in to-do list and project management. Oh, Teresa, I hope you feel better. Um, I hope you feel better soon. Thank you for being here. So that is how my brain works. I'm sure I feel like that being organized and getting things done is, like I said, how my brain works, and I'm sure working in corporate America and has only um, fostered that more. And so I'm really trying to unlearn some of that behavior. This morning, I spent some time going through all of the comments that were left for me on Instagram when I first shared that I'd had TIA. And one of the comments that all of the comments were just so kind and so encouraging. There were a lot of prayers and wishes for will, getting well, and just so many beautiful notes. But one of the things that really stood out was a comment around it's okay to not be okay. And um, I think that one stuck because I'm usually like pushing through, and that's part of what landed me here in the first place, and being used to pushing through and just acknowledging it's okay to not be okay, and to um and then the other thing, like I there's so many things that I want to do in this tiny house space, and feeling like I need to figure it all out so that I don't have to go back to corporate America. And that is some pressure that I know I've been putting on myself, and I've been talking about it for weeks. And so now that I'm in this situation where I don't want to go back into corporate America and trying to figure out what that looks like, there's some more self pressure. And so focusing on the fact that I don't have to know all of the answers, and trusting the process and trusting that it will work out like it's supposed to, is one of the things that I'm trying to remind myself of, and allowing myself some grace in that. And that I don't always have to be productive. Like, my brain has literally been all over the place this past week in trying to um, I don't know, just trying to think through all of the things, because there's so much uncertainty for me. The things that I feel like I need to figure out. I feel like because I need to figure it out, I don't necessarily want to give myself the opportunity to rest, and rest in to give myself the grace in um recuperating. And that's like, it's such a weird space to be in, because I know my body needs it, but my brain is just pushing. And again, I know so much of it has to do with our capitalistic society that I've always worked in. And so I am rethinking all of the things, and trying to figure out what that looks like going forward. And like in that comment, it's okay to not be okay. Like it, um, and one of the things that I realized this week, because part of what I feel like my struggle is that I don't have any physical um, residuals, I guess might be the best word. There's nothing physical to look at me to say she experienced a mini stroke a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, yesterday. And so I think part of me is saying, okay, let's get back to it. But then it was still a traumatic event, even though gratefully I don't have any physical ailments. It was still a very traumatic event. My body, I know my body needs rest. I know that, like I have been more tired, and it's my body saying, okay, you we're fortunate that you don't have any physical ailments, but you still have to take care of self and you still have to rest because it was, a major and traumatic event to your body. So it's like society, I feel like does a whole number on us, and the way we're wired to think about moving, continually moving and doing things and being productive, and what being productive looks like, and outputs from all of that. And so um, those are the things that I have to do and figure out. Oh, right. Yeah, I've been resting and healing. You're absolutely right. I have been productive in that. Actually, my body shuts down at a certain point, and it's like, okay, we're done, sis. Like, we're resting. Thank you, Doris. Thank you so much. Kitty says, thank you for sharing your story. Our health is our wealth, and so many women, including myself, ignore the signs that we need to protect our mind, bodies, and spirit. Absolutely. And that's unfortunate that we do, or by the time you think about it, you are in, distress, and it is, it's recovery versus recognizing that and taking care of yourself. Teresa says, Jewel, as a woman of color, as women of color, it's our nature to always push through because we have to, but you are 100% correct. It is okay to not be okay. Meditation helps me. I agree with that 100%. I have really been more focused on my meditation this week, and the meditation that I have been doing this week was really focused. I've been using the Chopra app. I also use Gabby Bernstein, I think is her name, and um, some other apps. Black women. I've been listening to some podcasts. But my Chopra meditation has really been focused on grace and gratitude, and for me, there's a lot of um, grace, and knowing that everything about the way things happened and where I am right now is everything about grace, and my gratitude and gratefulness for just being able to be here in this conversation, knowing what I experienced, and knowing what those 45 minutes of not being able to move my body or to speak, but being, as I keep talking about, being so clear internally and knowing exactly what was happening, and those 45 minutes of not having any external controls, just internally I was there, but externally I couldn't do anything. There's so much gratitude in being able to just be here. And so the meditation this week has been really good, and just reiterating the things that I know and that I feel. Thank you, Doris. Thank you. Thank you. Chantel is saying your nails look amazing. Thank you. Um, my um, artisan, my girlfriend does my nails, and I can't think of the name of her studio right now, but she's amazing. She does this all by hand. Her house looks like this too. She was featured on, I've shared her information. Her name is Talea. She was featured on HGTV Handmade, the last thing that I did. She was also featured on Apartment Therapy, I'm pretty sure. But her home was featured on HGTV Handmade And her house is amazing, and her design style. Her salon is amazing. You're asking, was it caused by stress by any chance? Absolutely. That was the exact cause of it. Job stress. And what I determined, so it's been a couple of months before the actual TIA. I shared this, I had started feeling like this flutter in my chest. And I knew it was stress because it only happened during the workday, and like during very stressful times during the workday, but only during the workday. I didn't experience it on the weekends. And I knew I was always focused on when it was happening. And I started talking to a therapist, and I mentioned it to my doctor that I had this thing happening. He listened to my heart with his stethoscope, and my heart sounded fine. I actually wasn't even experience the time that I told him I wasn't experiencing that. So I don't even know if he would have been able to hear it at that time. But I probably should have pushed for more extensive testing, but I didn't. Um, and what I learned to be the cause is that I have a small hole in my heart, which is something that 1 in 4 people have. You're born with this hole in your heart. It's how your blood works within your heart when you are in the womb. You're not born with it. Well, let me go back. When you're in the womb, you have this hole in your heart that allows your blood to move throughout the heart. When you are born after birth and you're here and you begin breathing air, that hole begins to close up because you're now breathing air. And so then your heart is taking in oxygen. Um, 1 in 4 people, that hole doesn't close up, but you won't know about it until you experience heart disease, a heart attack, or a stroke. And obviously, that's how I found out. And so, what had been happening, that flutter that I was feeling, was actually blood moving across from right to left in my chambers. And that's not supposed to happen. Obviously, it is a hole that I've had for all of my life, and it's never been triggered before, but it was triggered by stress. Again, going back to the flutter, that is, as my doctor explained it, there's some force when that blood is moving, and he explained it kind of like a cyclone. And that is what I have been feeling, that flutter. Another friend, my aunt actually said that she kind of thought of it when he was explaining it. She kind of thought of it as like a volcano that sits dormant when until it's activated, and so that is what happened. And extensive testing. So it's not something that someone would hear through a stethoscope. You need to have an echocardiogram to determine it. I also had a heart monitor, and when that flutter was happening, he said on the heart monitor it looked like I had an extra heartbeat. So that is so I potentially could have lived with this hole in my heart and never known about it if I hadn't been in a stressful situation. A constant stressful situation, because my life has not been without stress. Um, a young single mom was stressful as all get out, but I'm thinking just the um, consistent, 8-hour workday stress may have, sorry, may have just been more than that whole wanted to deal with. So, um, Teresa is saying there are a lot of people like you and me that do not show outward signs of trauma, but we have internal disabilities that we can't show them. Your health is the most important thing now. Absolutely. Absolutely. Sending you a lot of love and healing beyond where you were before this happened. Thank you so much. That is beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. I receive all of that. Thank you. Yes, Key. Talea's home is absolutely beautiful. And it's a beautiful story because it was her husband, Carrick, it's the home that he grew up in. His grandparents' home was mom and dad's home. I kind of think grandparents, and they um, restored it beautifully. It is gorgeous. Um, Wayne is saying, I understand your pain as a veteran who was injured during serving my country. I have nerve damage, neuropathy, a kidney injury, and more. And when people see me getting, they say you look fine. Yes, and I'm sorry you experienced all of that. I'm hoping you are always well. I think that's the thing that we're having to learn as a society. Like I remember as a young, like the I think the first awareness for me as a young person was, seeing people park in handicapped spots and then they get out and they look fine. Now, obviously, we know some people do take advantage of that and when they shouldn't. But learning that, having to learn, because I think growing up, my personal assumption was that handicaps were visible, and then learning and then really learning to mind your business when somebody is parking in a handicapped spot, because it's on them. If they're not supposed to be there, that's on them. And then um like the judgment, removing that judgment, because learning that all disabilities aren't visible. And that was I know a misconception I had as a young person growing up, and lack of awareness. And I think that is something that we're having to learn. Thank you, Teresa. And yes, same Wayne. Thank you so much. Um, Robert said, God created the Sabbath day for a reason. You always want to make time to rest your body, mind, and soul. You want to control your body. You never want your body to be in control of you. Absolutely. Yes. And yes, so, and I forgot to mention that. So with that blood going across, some blood clots formed, and that's what went to my brain and caused the stroke. Thank you, Teresa. Yes. So for me, it was learning that 1 in 4 people have this hole in their heart. So that's a small circle. That means somebody somebody close to you, has this condition, and hopefully they'll never know about it, but it is something that is very common. Wayne is saying it's the stereotypes that we as melanated men face also have to rest throughout the day. I'm in constant physical therapy, acupuncture, yoga. There are no cures for all of my permanent injuries management. Yeah, and it's the thing that we have to rethink, like you're saying, rethink as a community, rethink as people. Um, it is the thing that um, my friend Stephanie and Rashida do a lot of work around rest and ease, and not and they're the Exodus Summit. I mean, Exodus Summit is the summit that they have. It is so much of societal expectations that we're always supposed to be productive, and you're lazy if you're not. Um, and and I mean, we all know it starts from um, a lot of white supremacy is baked in there, because of the way we were treated during enslavement, and then there's that generational trauma of always having to work, and it's something that we have to unlearn, for sure. And it's something that I'm working on unlearning. It's something we have to unlearn as a community. And so much of it goes back to generational trauma. So yeah, you're right. The stress of being a young single mom is nothing compared to the stress of the corporate America plantation. Absolutely, because there was so much joy in, there was a lot of stress in being a young single mom, but there was so much joy in raising my daughter, and the the joy of that um, balanced over compensated for the stress, and then you make it through and you have done, you've done a good job, hopefully, and you still have the joy of that child. So you're right, there is none of that joy. I mean, what is the joy? That you get a paycheck, or a well done on a project that you completed, but then it's still on to the next thing, because there's always something to be done. So yeah. um Oh, hi, Miss BD. Yes, I shared all the details. So I experienced that on the Saturday before Christmas. It was the 21st, the 22nd. No, the 23rd. I've lost some days, y'all bear with me. I also shared the other week that um my recall and memory are a little off, so I'm just happy to still have a memory and to have some recall, so I'm not even complaining. It might get better, it might not, but I'm just happy to be here. So yeah. Um, so yeah, that is oh, I'm supposed to be dropping some links. Um, so I'm dropping my link. So last week we were also talking about I'm dropping this link. We were also talking about ways to support and the things that I'm doing. So I thank you all so much for those of you who have already joined Patreon. I already know that you're giving me some grace, but I will be in that community and figuring all the things out of how we're going to engage. And so that's on my to-do list. Let's see. Did I not? Let's see. That didn't work right. But you can, there you go. There you go. I'll have to do that again. Um, Patreon is the community that I'm excited about, because it'll allow for some more in, closer engagement, I guess is the best way to say it. More intimate conversations, because it's a platform where um, people can you'll be able to be on camera if you're interested in being on camera. No pressure. But I feel like that will um, offer more opportunity for connection, and also a, a safer space to have some more intimate conversation is the best way I can say that. And there are different levels for Patreon. And one of the benefits of the in addition is like having access to information and events and things, earlier access and discounts. And there will be some private events for the Patreon community. So um, thank you to you all who did join after last week's encouragement, and I thank you. And I'll be having that all together shortly. Sadiq, you ordered a mug. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do also have merchandise, and that was in the link that I dropped. So thank you. I appreciate that. Um, I appreciate you. That's right. Um, yes, thank you, Teresa. Um, so that's that. I'm trying to figure out things that we can do on Patreon, and ways to connect. Maybe have some accountability sessions that for things you all are working on and things I'm working on. So all of that will be coming soon in that space. What else? What else do you all have that we want to talk about? Let me see if I have anything else in the comments. Let's see. Hey, Crystal. Crystal, I gotta send you some information as soon as I figure out the information to send you. Um, I haven't forgotten, just so you know. Um, Glad to see you here. What else? Right. Rosin said, isn't it funny that the people who have the privilege of doing the least amount of work are the ones to call, or the first ones to call people lazy? Absolutely. And I think one of the things that also strikes me is um, mediocrity. Like, I feel like I know we don't, as people of color, Black people, we don't have the opportunity to show up and be mediocre, and as our counterparts often do, um, as leadership often does. But yet we don't have those opportunities. But we show up and we have to be two, three times as great, two, three times as productive, and all of those things. Or else we're called lazy. We don't have the opportunity to underperform. I've shared with my management, I don't have the opportunity to fake it until I make it. I have to know all of the things and make the right decisions, because when I make a misstep or do something incorrectly, then I lose my credibility. And so that is not something that we can afford to do in the workspace. So absolutely, I agree with that 100%. Yes, Therapy for Black Girls is one of the podcasts that I listen to. Crystal, thank you. I couldn't think about that name. No, Sadiq, we did not get any snow. I am snow averse, except for like the first half hour when it's real pretty, and then I'm ready for it to go. So fortunately, we haven't gotten any snow here. Thank you, Robert. I need to find some, is it geriatric modeling. Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, that's funny. I maybe I could, maybe that would be a last ditch opportunity to do and make some money. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you. Let's see. I don't think there's anything else here. I I think we were they were calling for bad weather here. Like, I have not been in sync with the things going around. I have groceries here, so that is usually my worry. If we have bad weather, do I have groceries? And so I have groceries, so I haven't been paying attention to the weather. But the other day when I was out driving, I noticed they were salting the roads. This was today is Sunday. This was like Friday. They were salting the road. So I think they expected something, but it was a non-event because it's like maybe high 40s, 50s, and the sun is shining. So it was absolutely a non-event, thankfully. Yes, absolutely. Make time to rest. Absolutely. One thing I did do, I think I talked to y'all about this, so I can share it. So I did order my life alert thing, and so um I don't know if I shared it. So I did one with ADT, and they have this on the go model. I felt like it was, as I've shared what happened to me, and the that particular day that I did not have my phone on me. I always have my phone on me, because it's something that I recognize. I'm out here by myself. I should have my phone. And I said to myself as I was headed out, you don't have your phone. But I was moving quickly and felt like I'd be in and out. I didn't even have on my watch, my Apple Watch. And I never do that. And that was just like one day that, like I said, I called it out, but I did it anyway. But then one of the things I recognized from that, even if I had my phone, I couldn't speak. And so I was trying to make myself be able to say I need help. And for a while, I couldn't say that. Everything that I was saying was very slurred. After I finally was able to speak, and so I did order the life alert thing that you can just press a button. And so so I've got two pieces. I'm gonna tell you about this other piece. So this is ADT's version, and they have what they call an on the go version. And so this charges, but I haven't figured out the battery life of it yet, but it is remote. So I can take this with me, and pressing this button calls the folks. And so you have an operator that responds to you with this unit right here. And it works because I accidentally pressed it yesterday, and somebody was calling. I was trying to stop it from beeping, but somebody called. And then, so that's the on the go piece. But then around the house, so I don't have to have that big piece on me. Like I have to have it for this to work. I have to be within 100 feet of that other piece. And that other piece works throughout the United States. So I thought that was really good, since I travel. And then this piece, okay, so I kind of made this, because I had ordered their piece that you hang around your neck, and it's kind of a big bulky thing. And I knew I didn't want to have that full time, so I ordered the watch because the watch is sleeker. This is and then I decided I didn't want to wear the watch, so I cut off the straps and put it on a necklace. And so this is from the watch. I don't know why they won't make a sleek one like this. Maybe I should write them and tell them everybody doesn't want to wear something big and bulky around their neck. So I do feel a whole lot better having this because I can just press a button and help will get here without having to indicate that I'm having um, any trouble. So um, if anybody is interested, I think this is important for somebody who an important option for somebody who lives alone, just for safety. Hi, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Key is asking about wildlife sightings. Um, yes. So um, this episode, when I first got dizzy as part of my episode, I was outside um, with the little kittens, actually bent over, rubbing the stomach of one of the little kittens. So some of the ferals have gotten adjusted to me, and they are very friendly. And I was playing with one of the ones when I was bent over, and then realized I was dizzy. So the ferals are fine. I haven't seen the bobcat anymore, but there are some hunters out here who are trying to track the bobcat, and they have shared that the bobcat, there are two, not just one, there are two. One is a male, one is a female, and the female is with child or with children. So I am not advocating for the demise of the bobcats, but I am kind of advocating for the demise of the bobcats before it's a whole colony out here. And I would not advocate for their demise if they weren't aggressive, because I saw the bobcat as he was um, chasing some of the ferals in very close in the backyard, like near my shed. So like I know there are coyotes out here, but they stay minding their business and I stay minding my business. So it was quite unnerving to see the bobcat that close. And because bobcats, they kind of operate differently, like they'll hunt, and I think they'll hunt me. So we'll see. Hopefully um, that it's a resolution and they don't cause me any more concern. But again, when I was saying I don't go outside without my phone or my watch, I also am rarely outside without a weapon because I'm not trying to fight a bobcat. So that day I was just out doing all the things wrong. But yeah, they're out here living life. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, and happy New Year to you. Oh, thank you, Robert. I appreciate you. Uh, Crystal is saying, I love that you're sharing this and educating us, but I also don't want folks to make this you. It's not you. You give so much information on this. You've given so much information on this last week and via IG. You're healing and gonna make it. Absolutely. I agree with that. Like, I feel like at some point I am going to switch and not talk about this in the ways that I have been talking about it right now. It's open and on my heart, and I don't want anyone else to experience that. So as I can share, I am, and but I agree with you 100%. So I thank you, Crystal, for that reminder. Um, Sadiq, so I had Nina's grandbaby, and between my stressful job and my travel, it became a lot. So one of my friends who was looking for a dog for her daughter has Brooklyn, and I don't think I am going to get another um animal at this time, because there's so much, like, as I like to travel, there's so much, and especially a baby. Nina and I had gotten to the point where she was just like we were in sync with each other, and she was just easy. And so starting over and with the puppy and all the puppy training and Brooklyn, Nina was so easy, and Brooklyn was whew, off the charts. Brooklyn, sweet as she can be, but she had a mind of her own. And so between trying to travel and then because I live so far out, it was hard for me to leave Brooklyn here and have to go into Charlotte. Charlotte is like 45 minutes away. So trying to potty train and do all the things, it just became a challenge, and it wasn't fair to Brooklyn to try to crate her and expect that for an hour and a half. It just minimum from a distance perspective that she could adjust to potty training. So it was best for her. It wasn't fair to her to have those expectations. So I don't know. I don't think so. At this point is really what I'm thinking. I agree, Crystal. Thank you, Crystal. Crystal says I have so much more to do. That's why you're being shown to sit down and do what you were meant to do full time. I agree 100%. Um, Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Vivian. A rest series, how to rest, when to rest, where to rest. I breathe rest into you. Thank you. I'm taking it. Uh, you are meant, absolute meant for more. Absolutely, Crystal. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think Vivian's idea. I promise you all, I am working on that. I am working on resetting um, my expectations for myself. Everybody is hustling. Um, Sadiq said, got side hustles for the time until I can buy my tiny house. Once I get it, I'm quitting the main. Absolutely. Do what you have to do to get there, but also take care of yourself in the process. But I understand that so much, and I agree with that because again, taking care of yourself in the process because this feels so different for me in being in my home and knowing um, my home is mine and I'm not, there's no risk in losing my home in any way. And so that feels a lot differently and that eliminates some of the stress that I might have otherwise. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate that. Uh, yes, thank you, Kimberly. Yes, I have been sharing my Patreon and some merchant to get some merchandise and to schedule with me. Let me drop that again. I thank y'all. Um, what else? Robert Robert likes my jacket. No, but I did make this one. And somebody yesterday told me I needed to start making jackets. Um, I I found all the patches and had this one and had them put on a jacket of mine. I kind of like it too. Um, I it's got um, it's really cool. Let me show y'all the back since Robert called out my jacket. If I can get my arms out of it, let me show y'all the back of my jacket. But I did make it in a way that I found the patches in the t-shirt that I wanted to put on the back. So the back I think is really cool. Uh-oh, let me hold it right in the camera. This way, Jewel. Why can't I get this right? Okay, I'm gonna do it right. There we go. Um, that's the back of it. So, yeah, I I found all the stuff for it and had it made. Maybe I do need to go into business there. Um, anyway, thank you, Robert. Thank you, Kimberly. This is 1 week of no corporate America. I do feel good. I swear, last week I was I talking to you, Kim, when I said, oh, I think I was when I was in Target. I was like in Target just in the middle of the day, um, walking around just looking at stuff. And I chuckle because I said, I'm like the folks who, it's usually like old people who have nothing to do and they're out in traffic and all in the way during the rush hour or lunch hour and because they don't have nothing to do and you trying to get somewhere. That was me last week, just all out in the way. But I don't drive slow, so I wasn't holding anybody up in traffic, but I was just milling around doing absolutely nothing, and it was so amazing. And it was better than because I was trying to think of how and why it was so much more amazing. Um, because it wasn't like on vacation where you're on vacation and the vacation is going to be winding down and your brain is already looking ahead and feeling some type of way about it. But this was just like, mm, this is good. Like I'm not on vacation. I'm resting. I'm doing the things, and so it was really fun. Um, thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Um, Sadiq is saying, let's see, a tiny house community nearby also manufactures tiny homes. I had a model from another company, and they reached out to that company and became affiliates, so they can legally manufacture their homes now. Not sure if this is a sign to build with them or if I should look elsewhere. Um, I'm thinking I might know which community you're talking about. My suggestion in um, I do have a video. I'll drop the link when I update this on finding a builder. Um, my suggestion is to at least get two or three quotes. Three, I would say three at a minimum, from different companies to make sure they can meet what you're looking for, and to also, um, I'm always concerned I'm going to press this button. And to also make sure that you are doing your due diligence. Y'all know that's my word. Your due diligence as far as talking to their references, getting some references and asking questions about the build process, getting some references of people who have been in the houses for an extended period of time, and if they've experienced any problems, how problems are resolved. Like all of those things are the things that you want to ask up front as you're going through this process. So um, it's potentially a sign, but I would still say do the due diligence and looking into the details. Absolutely, Kimberly. Crystal says, I'd love to talk about designing on a budget. I'm trying to update my second bedroom space, sanctuary space. And when you say you'd like to talk about, are you saying like a chat here? I do have a budget video. I'll drop it, but I don't know if it's necessarily, I think I talked about ways to design on a budget, but it wasn't necessarily specific to a room. It's more of building a tiny house, but it's something I'm open to talking to. I think I shared that. I have my ADA just for that reason. You can take a self-care day just because. I'm not sure what that is, Teresa. I might, as you're dropping me a note, tell me what that is too. Yes, Kimberly. Judith is headed somewhere. Be safe, Judith. Um, Judith and Crystal are talking in code about going somewhere cool. Safe travels. Have fun. All right, folks. I will, yes, do your due diligence. That's exactly right. I will um, be talking to you all soon. Next Sunday. So I am possibly traveling this week somewhere sunny and warm just to relax. And but next Sunday I am participating in um that's right, we get me straight. A chat on my Patreon. That's exactly what that is. When I tell y'all between S Right and Crystal get me together, all the way together, a chat on the Patreon. That's what that is. Who they get me together. I owe y'all folks. Thank y'all. Um, that's what that is. That is a whole conversation on Patreon. Um, you're right. Um, so next Sunday, Pinky Cole, slutty vegan. Oh, I'm sweating. And sorry, y'all. Um, she has these sessions that they call American Sesh, and it is an opportunity where um, entrepreneurs um, and people who have money, I don't know what the other best way to say that, all have an opportunity to be in the room to share ideas and learn from each other. And so I am participating in, thank you, Kimberly. That's what the accommodation. I don't understand how it works. I knew what it stood for, but I didn't exactly know how it works. But thank you for clarifying. Um, but next Sunday, the this event is in Atlanta, and it's an opportunity to get in the room with um, people who have capital, people who have access to assisting with opportunities, and then entrepreneurs. And Pinky, if you don't know Pinky Cole, you should know her. Her story. She has the vegan restaurant. She started with one restaurant. She started with a food truck, and then She had a restaurant. The restaurant caught on fire. Like all of the things that could have prevented her from being in business have happened, and she's prevailed. And I believe she's a millionaire, multi-millionaire. She's been on the cover of several magazines. Slutty Vegan is really popular in Atlanta, but she's expanded her restaurants in several areas in several states now. But I bought a ticket to attend this American Sesh, and I actually bought this ticket before the TIA. I want to be in the room to talk tiny houses and have opportunities to be around um, people who might be able to help move my vision and provide some access to some things. So I'll be doing that next Sunday evening. Um, yes, Kimberly, thank you so much. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate you. Um, so my plan is to be in Atlanta. Well, I will be in Atlanta next Sunday. And so I will connect with you all, and that session is in the evening. So, um, y'all, let's put some good energy out there that I can connect with somebody in that room that can help me move some of my work forward. And that was my intention when I bought the ticket. And then I just feel like it aligned so well after the TIA happened in this space that I'm trying to be in. So thank you. Um, uh, Robert likes my jacket, but he says it doesn't apply to a brother. I have to see what I can do to help you out, Robert. But absolutely, there's something out there that we could do for you. Um, I already have an idea in my head. Um, Thank you, Sacred at Play. No, thank you for sharing part of your day with me. I appreciate it. Um, Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, thank you. Y'all got me blushing. Absolutely, Crystal. All right, good people. Thank you for sharing your Sunday with me, as always. You all are very, very appreciated. And I can't say that enough. So thank you. Happy Sunday. I hope everyone has a good week, and I'll look forward to connecting with you all again very, very soon. Thanks, everybody. Hey, Kathy. I hope you are well and all is well with you. We are just wrapping up, so I'm happy to see you join. I hope you have a great week. All right, take care, everybody. Talk to you soon.